Right now, here's a world premiere of a brand new game from a team in China. It's a multiplayer melee combat game that you're seeing for the first time. Here is Naraka Blade Point.
Hello, in today's video I would like to talk about some biases people have about Naraka Blade Point. Some of the points here we'll be talking about is based on the comments in the last video. I for one have one of the worst biases when it comes to games, and I will tell you more about it at the end of the video. But first, let me introduce you to the faces working on Naraka Blade Point, as well as some of their content based off their stream at bilibili.com. There, they discuss issues, future changes, and respond to questions about their game. I feel like this would be helpful and have good value, especially to the non-Chinese speaking community that also wants to be a part of their discussion, but just couldn't get past that language barrier. So far, they only had one stream before the first beta, and any major changes or bugs they talked about are kinda no longer relevant in the most recent beta. They are either addressed or fixed, but there is some useful stuff here as well, and this could kinda help you get a rough idea of the challenges they face. The first issue found by one of the test players is an infinite combo when mixing area attacks with normal ground ones. A member of the team, which I believe is the main combat programmer, said that in a single player game, infinite combo can be a good thing and make the game better. But in a PvP game, infinite combos is considered a bug and a flaw in the design which they will fix. Sure enough, I did not see any such combos in the most recent beta. Something that was realized early before the betas even started but was asked anyways is, can attacks pass through walls? The answer is no, because it doesn't make sense. Just because a weapon model might face through the wall, or even if you can see the attack through the wall, the attack is not supposed to do damage. This prevents people from hiding behind walls and attacking others. They might also find ways to prevent the visuals from actually phasing through. The next major issue is where longsword seems to be really hard to counter. Not only is it difficult to get close because of their range charge attacks, but when you do get close, countering a long sword with a counter strike does not make the weapon drop. Apparently, the long sword not getting its weapon drop when countered is a special hidden feature which I will talk about more in the future. But because of the difficulty in dealing with such a weapon and the playstyle, they plan to make it either easier to counter or increase the penalty when countered. This is to address the issue without changing too much of how the weapon currently feels. Another interesting point one of the members mentioned is that the great sword looks like it has a really big attack range, but it's actually the smallest among the melee weapons currently in the game. This is not a bug, just something intended but not realized by most players. There was one part where one of the members said that wall climbing attack is one of the most useless action in the game, in which the guy that designed it defended himself by saying that it could be used as a form of mobility. And I'm just guessing, but there might actually be a buff to it in order to promote people to use it more in the future. Over here, the guy in charge of products asked, is the AI developed for the game only meant to appear in the tutorial for such a short duration? And before he got an answer, the guy at the left said that there could be more uses, but they will need a bigger budget. I feel like for this part, they were kinda hinting that if things goes well, there might be a potential PvE content as well. They also kinda leaked the fact that one of the characters in the trailer was actually a character in Dark that is not available yet to the beta players. But nothing other than that was actually revealed. And I guess finally they did take a look at some of the very cool environmental effects and tools that players could take advantage of, for example riding a moving turret or causing a windmill to break and roll over to destroy other environmental structures. These are real-time game environmental changes that players could trigger, and considering that there aren't many at the moment, there might be more to come, and these are designed by the lovely lady in white. I think that's pretty much it for the more important topics in their stream, and I'll try my best to cover any other future streams if they were to make one. So if you want to stay updated, the subscribe button is right below the video. Now let's talk about the first issue and bias people have with Naraka, which is battle royales.
No.
It seems that a lot of people are turned off really quickly when it comes to battle royales, or BR for short. And I get it, we all have our biases. It is possible that you had a bad experience with Battle Royale games, or you just aren't a fan of the two major games that popularized Battle Royales, namely Fortnite and PUBG. Anyways, Battle Royale is really just a game mode that has seen lots of success. It is a great way that allows many players to compete at the same time that results in one winner. Another alternative is to have a martial art tournament style design, where every player gets to be in a one-on-one and the winner makes it up a ladder, slowly eliminating players until there is only one left from the final match. The problem with this structure is that after each level, the winner of that level needs to wait for every other player of that level to finish before advancing to the next level. If there are AFKers or opponents that decide not to fight, that level could get stuck or it takes a long time to clear. Or what happens if someone gets disconnected? Then there'll be an odd number of players. This makes the game a lot more time consuming and rigid. Try challenging yourself right now to think of a new game mode for a PvP game that is multiplayer, fast-paced, and allow for only one winner. It is really not that easy. If you end up thinking of something like a free-for-all deathmatch where the winner is based on its score, well, that game mode already exists in Naraka, which is called Bloodbath. My point is, you might not like the design of Battle Royales, but there aren't many good tested options available if you really think about it. There is no denying that BR just does a very good job at its core objective for a PvP game. There are actually other benefits for this kind of BR setting. It not only challenges your combat skills, but it also involves a lot of decision making and strategy. Unlike the traditional martial art tournament design, you could choose to take a one-on-one, or you could also bail if you see a third party. Sometimes you can even reset yourself, heal up, and then fight him again. If you want a faster paced game, you can drop in the hot spots where there are quick, intense action with high risk but high rewards. Or you can even play it safe and spend time looting and doing missions to purchase better items for the final most important fight to win the game. And because this game is very skill based, this means that with enough practice, the rarity of the item can only help you so much. So this means there's a lot of flexibility and less RNG on how you want to win. Again, the Battle Royale style is just a method of bringing remaining players together for the fight to produce one winner. And I feel like PvP games like these should be judged based on the fights, not how you get placed into the fight. Saying you wouldn't play a game just because it's BR feels like saying you wouldn't play a traditional tournament style game despite caring if it's a 2D game or a 3D game, if it has vertical movement or building or the kind of art style, or if there's anything outside that BR game mode. I just feel like you might be giving up too much if you let the fact that a game has BR mode stop you from trying it out, which, by the way, I believe Naraka will have even more game modes in the future. Now, the next bias players might have when seeing Naraka is the fact that it's made from China. It is sad to say, but there are a number of Chinese title games that aren't very genuine. For example, reuse or stolen sound effects, or just ripping off other games. Naraka had a rough start, even before the betas. Critics in their own country made a lot of comparison and were not supportive of their ideas. But the team persists, knowing that they are making a genuine game, and as gamers themselves, they believe that there is an audience for what they're about to create. They admitted that they were inspired by many games, especially games like Sekiro, Devil May Cry, and Monster Hunter, which are single-player games, and although it has elements of it, how player and player interact is very different from how you would fight an NPC in a single-player game. Therefore, every single combo, timing, and balancing needed to make this melee PvP game so great is very much original. And not to mention, there aren't any good melee BR games to begin with, so they are making something different and new from most PvP games. We as players always ask developers to try new things and take a risk, but the moment one presents itself, we got too quick to judge, which is why when I saw how they have gotten so much more support after the beta, then the confidence they have to publicly announce their game in the Game Awards, and the fact that it was one of the most played games on Steam during the last beta, I feel like they are a group of people that take pride in their game. And in some ways, I feel like they are also pressured representing China to show the world that they are capable of making great games as well. So let's give them a chance. Okay, now for my confession with my biases when it comes to games. And it is no secret, but at the same time it's one of the worst biases to have. I tend to avoid single player games because I feel like it's lonely just because no one else is there but me, the player. However, there are so many great single player games that I know of, yet I could not find the will to play them. And I know that it's a great loss on my part, but I just couldn't help it. So if you're not like me and have some degree of willpower to give Naraka Blade Point a chance, even though it's another BR game, I really hope you enjoy it, and I guess only time will tell if they will live up to my expectations. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.